So, ever since COVID restrictions ended, life has been super hectic. Back when the podcast first started, we made an episode about mental health during lockdown. And now we're going to make the follow up to that episode about mental health after lockdown when life has went back to normal and everything's back on track. A lot of people have been facing difficulties transitioning, especially us, and we just wanted to talk about it. So, who would like to share first?
Okay, so when lockdown was there, we all like had to stay at home forcefully, and after a while, when things lifted up, like the government lifted the lockdown, we started our regular lives again, but mentally we were still stuck in that phase where socializing was just a word, and
Yeah.
like eventually it played with our heads, and we found it difficult to come back to that point again when we were hanging out with our friends. Like, I guess it's the same things with all of you. Like, the same people you met before lockdown, you don't necessarily start a conversation with them the same way when you meet them after lockdown for the very first time. Like, you have that hesitation in you, and I don't
True.
know, I think it's like somewhat like a social anxiety, which even happens to me. Like, I guess you know that
Mhm.
I'm like personally a guy who likes going out with friends and like
Really
debating, like
extroverted.
engaging in conversations. But even for me, after lockdown ended and when I started meeting people, I was not as comfortable as I used to be. And I guess this happens to almost each and every individual who had a pretty top notch social life before lockdown began. So, yeah, it is difficult to overcome such atrocities. Like, people, in general, we believe that lockdown's up and like everything's normal, but it is not normal. Some of us haven't been able
Mm.
to come out of that mental phase where we were all depressed, and we had no clue of what life would bring in for us in the future. Like, we're still stuck there in one way or the other. Yes, productivity has been there, we've come back to our regular lives,
Mm.
but yeah, like, one question to you guys: what feeling do you get when you go to university every day? Like,
It's not like clean. It's not like sucked out of your system. It's like sobering out. Okay.
ভাই মনের কথা বলতেছি।
Acha, so first of all, lockdown basically gave us the feeling how animals in a zoo might feel totally trapped inside one cage. Na odik na edik, you have nothing. So since when they say যে যখন একটা animal কে zoo এর পর you take them out in the wild, they don't know what to do. That's what basically happened to us. Pre-lockdown, everyone had a social life. যেরকম you maybe have a big circle, you have a small circle, but everyone had a circle. But since the lockdown came in, we got detached. A lot of us did. Mental health change, সব change হয়ে গেছিল, and we didn't know how to react it. And যখন শেষ হলো, by the time we returned, everything was not same. Some of us were mentally very, very unstable. Some of us were very depressed, and we didn't know how to interact, even with friends who we know for a very long time. For example, Tanzim and I think we are the oldest friends amongst কত বছর হয়েছে? Almost 10 years,
Since
I guess.
since grade 5, yeah, almost 10
So almost
years.
10, almost 10 years. So ওর সাথেও যে কিভাবে interact করবো, I didn't know at first when I met him. It was during hybrid classes, I remember. Date মনে নাই. So yeah, আমি just কথা বলে না, I just went away because I didn't know what to do. কি নিয়ে কথা বলবো?
Same.
It was very weird.
Dude,
Yes,
this
that's one.
happens to me. Dude, this happens to me all the time in university, and even nowadays, I've developed this habit that every time I see people I know, I'm just like, should I talk to them? Is it necessary? Should I say hi? Nah, I think I'm just gonna go.
Guys, just
I didn't see you. I did not see you at all. I'm gone. Or like, even if I do say, I'm like, hey, what's up? What class? Okay, bye. See
Oh,
you.
no wonder you have been ghosting me, you bitch. No wonder you've been
You're
ghosting
the
me.
only person, bro. You're the only person I haven't been ghosting. Trust me.
Good, you shouldn't.
Hey,
I'll be
dude,
hunting
And
you now.
I ghost Tanzil. That's sad.
No, literally, one day I was sitting in the gallery with a friend. I saw Nihal walk by downstairs. I'm like, "Acha, should I say hi to him?" I'm like, "Acha, no, I don't feel like it." I let him go.
Yeah, should I
Hey, that's not ghosting. That's being
Don't
lazy.
take offense.
That's
Don't
being
take offense,
lazy, you
man.
fat fuck.
No, that's not ghosting. That's called avoiding. Because you know, তুই আসলে কোনো না কোনো অকাজ করছো, জারি খাবি, বসে আসছিস না। High chances.
There's one more thing we need to consider, like how ungrateful we are. When there was no lockdown, we didn't want to go to or college. Like we wish that a day would come when there would be no work. We would stay at home all day and play games. But when it happened, we wanted to
When it happened, we're like, "Please let us go back."
Never happy. Like no one's
Me,
happy.
I was one of the few people who wanted to stay home and sleep only.
Bro,
And it's-
when are you not sleeping? That is my question. Every time I call you, you're half asleep.
Nihal, dude, you are the real life iteration of Snorlax. You're,
Dude
you're,
looks like a Snorlax.
you're an exception, okay? You're an exception. You're not like us. We are not like you.
But-
Yet you guys are way lazier than I am.
Not really.
Bro, when
Not
Snorlax
really.
loses, it becomes a beast.
Antimus.
But
100%.
Raphael, I want to add up to your point
Maybe?
because
Yeah.
You know what's the worst part post lockdown?
being active.
Studies. No,
Oh.
being active is fine. We did that.
Yeah.
That's no issue for me. The thing is, see, আগে যখন we were in lockdown, we had the time to get depressed. ঠিক আছে, there was time. We were কি বলবো বেকার বাংলায়। হ্যাঁ, সোজা বাংলায় বেকার বলে যাকে। এখন for example, when university starts, first week goes smoothly. Second week quizzes come in, assignments come in, mids come in. So
And then shit
time in
starts
depressed
to
হওয়া।
drop.
Where is the time to get depressed? একদিন ফ্রাইডে পাই, ওদিন মনে করো রিয়েলিটি চেক টেক হিট করে, একদিন কান্নাকাটি করি, পরের দিন আবার শুরু পেরা। সো
Like some people choose to work and work and work to prevent their minds from procrastinating.
you want an example? That's Kashyap right there.
That's Kashyap right there. I was gonna point.
Oh,
I'm pointing to him on my screen. I don't know if he's or from his angle, it's probably not gonna be there, but I'm
bro,
pointing
he's
towards him.
hiding from you. From lockdown to now, all of us entered university. That's one thing that we
Except Raphael. Except Raphael.
Yeah, we
Except
were in-
Raphael.
yeah,
But
except
Raphael's doing
Who wants
work.
him? Why would he come to you?
Guys, hey, I want to share a bit with my viewers about my mental situation after lockdown. Like, as you know, like you guys are my friends, so you guys know that I had to drop a year due to COVID and lockdown. And naturally, my friends, which includes you guys, moved on.
especially me.
Not only me, I guess many more had to go through this. There are several students who had to drop a year, and they're now. Some of them have overcome it, including me, but not everyone's same. So yeah, it's difficult to digest it at times.
Yeah, that's true. Like during lockdown,
When
we
you
didn't.
drop for no reason. Like you didn't fail, but you had to drop.
Yeah, a lot of people were held back, and the thing is, since all of us were in the last year of A levels, a lot of our friends also left, and it's like we had to start over because a lot of our friends, they also entered university, we entered university, so we had to socialize with people we had never met before and had no mutuals with, people who we didn't know anything about.
In terms of post lockdown scenario of mental health with people, I'd say it's like this is like pre-COVID, this is like after COVID, okay? Like something like here. It went down, now it's slowly but surely rising up. People are starting to be more active.
I would have to disagree.
Would like to agree on Coach Kashyap.
I would have to disagree because the thing is,
Why and why?
Why and why?
back in lockdown and during the pandemic, a lot of people were depressed, but now they're anxious because they were so used to staying at home, going to university 6 days a week, like all of the stimuli, going through Dhaka traffic, socializing. It takes a lot of energy from you, and it has been worsening people's anxiety because they're being burned out because their bodies weren't used to this.
Okay, I need
And
to add
for
a
some
bit
people, it's
here
just
to.
forcing it.
I need
Just
to
add to
add here
both
a
of
bit.
you. Okay.
Okay,
Rafal
so
Jore ball.
yeah. Do you hear me now?
Hey.
Himanshu?
Better.
Okay, so I disagree with Kashav too. Like, when lockdown started, we all stayed at home, and it has become a habit for us. Like, eventually, when everything's open now, like as Saqib said, people are anxious, but I guess people are lazy too. Like, day after day, you're like relaxing and chilling on your sofa and like watching Netflix, and then all of a sudden, boom, assignments and like day-to-day chores. Like you have to do
6 days a
everything
week.
all over again, 6 days a week, 2 days holiday. Before you had 30 days holiday. Like
Okay, I would like to add to both of you. First of all, the thing of interaction and going campus and going all out differs person to person. You're
Yeah,
socially
true.
learning active and someone have a very high social
Social stamina.
social battery, but some
Mhm.
people don't. For example, I'll give you two examples. For example, me and Kashyap, we love going out, making new friends, and entering campus was very easy for us when it started and making friends. For me and Kashyap. Whereas for Tanzim, he was even unable to cope up with us. ও আমাদের সাথে interact করতে চাচ্ছিল না. He was struggling. And we saw a few demos of it throughout the semester last 2 years. I'm not going to say the examples, but we saw that.
Let's not talk about that.
I'm not going to talk about, don't worry. And অনেক গালিও খাইছে আমার কাছে, তারপর ঠিক হয়েছে, এখন is better. But the thing is, and about the going thing, 6 দিন তোমরা যারা ক্লাস নিতে, that's your book, আমি not mine, 4 দিনও নেওয়া যায়. Firstly. And second of all, the thing is, Dhaka traffic, key, we even forgot about it in the past 2 years. And then suddenly facing it, oh my god. I would just rather sleep at home than going to university just because of the traffic.
One thing I would like to point out, this motherfucker, Tanzim fucking Hawk, when he got out of lockdown and he started going out at first, he gave this Facebook post which read something like, "Is it just me or do I miss Dhaka traffic?" Yes, motherfucker. মনে আছে আমার মনে আছে
I remember.
Oh
I
my
remember.
god,
Save
this
that post.
you even saved that post? Holy shit, what kind of stalker
Do
behavior
you
is this?
realize?
Save it.
Do you realize
I just remember it.
every day for 1.5 hours of class, I go 2 hours and I come back 2 hours. So 4
Same. I
ঘন্টা
mean,
যাওয়া আসা করি 1.5 ঘন্টার জন্য.
dude, this semester
Attendance.
yeah, and this semester I have classes that end at 5:50, or basically by the time I leave campus it's 6 or 6:30. By the time I'm home it's 8:30. Do you think I have any more energy left in me?
Honestly, you kind of messed up with the class timings.
I had no choice, man. I had no choice.
Man,
So
is the hustle to get good lecturers in uni is real. The hustle is real.
guys who are entering uni, please advising ঠিক মতো করো ভাই.
Yes,
Faculty
Do not
budget
miss
হবে,
your
জীবন
first
নষ্ট.
slot. Do not miss your first slot.
Just like this idiot.
yeah, look at me. Do not be like me. I always miss my first slot because I'm always asleep.
I made it last semester. I was screwed.
I
Tired.
fell asleep this
Coffee
semester
also
as well.
tired.
Also, the worst thing was that here in Bangladesh, they just randomly switched from hybrid, which is offline online mix, to fully offline in the middle of semester, and it just hit me.
It
Like,
wasn't
that was
middle
tough.
of the semester. It was like during midterms.
Yeah,
How the
Yeah, just before
first
midterm.
class back.
I still remember my CSE 115 midterm. I did not know what the fuck I was supposed to write. I forgot. হ্যাঁ, I remember telling you. হ্যাঁ, আমি just নামও লিখতে বলে নাম কেমনে লিখবো বুঝতেছি না।
I was just sitting with a friend. We were just talking. Suddenly, he comes in with a sword from the accusator. It's like, this is the thing that happened. We were like, we had biomed and we fucked it up real bad. So it doesn't matter, man.
Just the transition was tough. It was,
The
especially in the middle of the semester. We gave midterms doing
Yeah.
half a semester of online classes.
You know, what the problem basically, the main problem, even rather than socializing, when the campus started, most of the students had their midterms. একদম start online দিতে পারে না,
Yeah,
offline, because
especially math midterms. I
So-
had like
so no,
two math courses and I direct written midterm.
So the problem was that even before we could get the energy to talk to people and take help, ওইটা আমরা পাইতেছিলাম না because midterm start হয়ে যাচ্ছিল, so we had that pressure firstly. Second of all, there were quizzes. Most of them they had quizzes because অনেক like a lot of them said that as offline is starting, I'm not going to take my quizzes here online, offline diba. So
Yeah.
that's what happened. So even before we could interact with the other students and talk to them about how their semester was going and kihabe they're coping up with this. The exam started, and which was a huge problem because a lot of us couldn't cope and we did really bad. If I look at my grades from last semester, two were top notch, and then I see the third one, I'm like, fuck yourself, Nihal. This is a disgusting grade.
As we're in
And
as we're in like studies right now, I still remember that my first semester was so shit that when offline classes started, I couldn't keep up. Like, I just like stopped at a point. It was like I gave up. I was like, fuck no, I'm not even gonna try at this point. I remember giving my lab or I was at theory finals, and I literally went in front of Nihal and just like held them for like a whole minute. I was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
it's just in terms of mental health, with some people it's been a mixed bag. Like for me, I'm not depressed, but I'm more anxious. And in terms of being socially awkward, I'm not as socially awkward as I used to be pre-pandemic. All of my social awkwardness just went away. Whereas it's like I just don't feel like talking to that many people, as many people I used to talk to during lockdown, during like the pandemic restrictions. I just don't have that energy for that anymore.
Bro, there's this other thing that happens to me. Like before lockdown, I would like go to MUNs, meet random people, like increase my network. But all of a sudden, when lockdown ended and I started regular life again, they were all gone, and like everything's brand new again. Like I don't know that many people anymore. Like I do know them, but I'm not in touch with them anymore. Like
Also in our in
that
all of our
desperation to be back
cases.
to being social again is like what makes me anxious and depressed at times, like getting back to that normal life in every way.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I think personally I've been the most hardly hit in terms of socializing. Like it's getting a bit better now, but a few weeks ago, as Nihal mentioned, I was like at one point I put pretty much every single group I had on ignore. I stopped talking to most of my friends. Like I once I stopped, I reduced talking to most of my
Wait,
friends and
no one noticed.
fuck off.
Yeah, now I see why you stopped talking to
I
them.
was
Yeah,
I
exactly,
was just waiting
exactly.
for Nihal to say it. Just like কখন বলবি তুই? শাবাশ মামা.
Anyway, but like the
Sigma.
point is that, and I also mentioned that every time I see known people at university, I literally have to battle with myself in my head. Should I go say hi? Should I be nice, or should I just be like, yeah, fuck it, no one cares anyway,
Tanzim, for
just gonna.
Exactly, Tanzim. No one cares if you said
I
hi.
want to say hi. I'm desperate to say hi. Like I want to meet new people. Like why am I not?
I'm desperate to be left alone.
I'm like the other way around. Like
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
with
the socially the best, like socially, the person who has held up the best is that dude, Kashaf.
I mean, he hasn't just held up. He is peaking. He's
He's
improving.
speaking. He's speaking. So
This
I get.
is the best time of his life socially. I guarantee
Said I
it.
taught you well, Kashaf. Say thanks.
Fuck you.
Let's just talk a bit about our own personal mental health. I mean, we haven't talked that much about it other than from the social aspect. Whereas we should be talking about like the mental aspect, like the introspective part, like how we're doing inside our head. Like, are we good? Are we bad?
Yes, as I said before, when COVID was at peak and everything was closed, we had the time to think about our lives, about our existence, care, nasi ki korte, what's going on around us. So that's when I was most depressed. And yes, because I realized a lot of shit that was going around, and a lot of things hit me really hard, and some events happened in life that made me even more depressed. But since university started, as I said, time power যাচ্ছে না, you're not getting that me time. was at the end of the day you're super drained, or you're again busy studying. And then when you get the weekends, at times they hit you. For example, my case, my weekend actually they hit me back about how life was and how down I had fallen, still rising up from it. But since the lockdown opened, I think I've been doing not outside. I won't say very good, but I would say better than before.
It just felt super weird and uncomfortable, but now I feel really comfortable with the place that I'm in. And I've transitioned and I don't feel as drained as I used to feel before. The people I do talk to are like people I really like. So
For me personally, I've been focusing more on increasing my productivity. Like for instance, I'm doing this web development course, and I'm like learning with some enthusiastic minds, and I get an opportunity to like socialize with them too and learn what they look at it from another perspective. So this adds to my knowledge and enhances it in a way. And to be honest, the the lockdown period, like the after effect is still there, but I'm slowly but surely overcoming it through productivity. And yeah, I'm trying to make full use of the time before I finally give the admission test for uni. So yeah, it's been going
yeah,
pretty well.
best of luck for that.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Godspeed, brother. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up like us.
Also, guys, based on your observations about our friends, like the people around us, what do you think? Like, how do you think they're adjusting to it? Because from what I've seen, a lot of people haven't adjusted as comfortably as us. A lot of people who are really social, like when I meet them in person, it's super awkward, and I get the feeling that they're awkwarded out. And other than that, I just keep on seeing people being super drained out. I mean, they're just sleepy as fuck. They cannot manage anything, either because of traffic or university or because of just the entire, like, all of it coming together. All of it just combining to just make their life miserable, just with like a lot of people. And And honestly, I just feel sad for them, and I hope that they can overcome it because we were in a similar state at one point.
Some people coped well after everything opened. Some people didn't. Sober journey wasn't same. For example, Kashaf and I, we didn't have much of a problem, socializing with new friends. That is the online and we met for the first time before university started. Be it them or the new friends that we make in our individual subjects or in our majors. So even with them, we were very comfortable, becoming friends and everything. But there were people that are socially like active still. I'm sorry, I'm using Tanzim's example again. He struggled at first, even with us, right? So, but now he's doing great. So it's improving because last semester, like a majamaji cool said, we didn't have enough time to cope and think because already mid started and
মাথা
then
ঠিক
Eid
ছিল না ভাই,
came.
মাথা একদমই ঠিক ছিল না।
Because
And
we didn't
also,
know what we were doing. Only
and
thing we got the pressure.
yeah, and also, guys,
All
guys,
of the
wait, wait.
stimuli and all of the surrounding factors, like it's a lot to take in at first. But eventually you adjust. I mean, you have to adjust, especially because we live in Dhaka, the most chaotic city in the world.
Like, okay, so one point I want to raise is that I've seen a lot of posts of people like desperately reaching out to seniors or anyone for advice on how to socialize, how to talk to people. Like there are people I've seen who are in the like 7th, 8th, 9th, even 10th semester be like, guys, please help me. I have absolutely no friends. I don't know how to talk to anyone. I feel so lonely at campus. And it's kind of sad because it's like all these people, they've been at university for so long, but yet they just don't they're just not able to find that in them to talk to people.
I
And
mean, it makes sense in their case
No,
because
wait,
they
wait,
had,
because ওরা হচ্ছে গিয়ে online semester পাইছে পুরা. They did not
yeah,
get the
2
offline
years,
semester at
two
all.
entire
yeah,
years.
Sixth semester or seventh semester, that's like 2 years, and 2 years lockdown ছিল. So they did not get the time to interact with people in person. They can online কথা তো সামনে আসার পর change, everything changes. Online and offline is not same.
it
And we
isn't.
know it. Everyone knows it. So yeah.
I mean, even with that, I mean, other than the social aspect, I feel like a lot of people have improved mentally because now they have a sense of purpose. In during the pandemic,
Oh,
let's be
absolutely.
honest, we were all in a state of disarray. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with life because last year of college,
I'm
last year
still
of
not sure.
university, and I was just concerned about my future because I was gonna enter uni and a university where I didn't really have that many mutual friends or people I knew from before, and also an entirely new place. Like just the thought of that was scary, and it used to fuck up my sleep schedule. I mean, all of us struggled with insomnia. That's how this podcast
That's
started.
how this thing started in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have these late night discussions. And one positive thing about that was that since no one had anything to do, everyone was people were more open to new experiences. For example, a lot of people started learning new things. We decided to start this podcast in our case, and we also learned the new things. For us, it was a huge leap because if I'm going to be honest, pre-pandemic Sake, pre-pandemic Tanzim, pre-pandemic Nihal wouldn't have done anything like this. Whereas during the pandemic, we were more open to it and we actually took the leap.
We were like, dude, we have nothing else to do. Nothing to lose. Fuck it.
Yeah, I remember Tanzim's speech when we first talked about it and made the plan. Nihal wasn't there, but me, Tanzim, Kashyap, and Rafael were on call, and he was talking about how a few weeks before he was basically living the life of a retiree. He wasn't doing anything, and he was like, now look at me, I'm planning on making a podcast. And now look at Tanzim, it's 6 months, it's like 7 months in, and we have made around, I don't know, 10 episodes.
Hey,
And
hey, it's
So
university's fault.
basic,
It's
so
university's fault.
basically what Saki was trying it to say is বেকার উত্তর দিয়ে আমাদের পডকাস্টটা শুরু হয়েছে। That's the best way we can say it.
হ্যাঁ আর এখন বেকার এখন আমরা আর বেকার নাই বলে হাইয়েস্টটা গেছে মাঝখানে
yeah,
এই যে
we
দেখুন এত বড়
had a
গ্যাপ।
hiatus while we were adjusting to everything.
Also যে
We're
বলে
back
না
on track.
খালি মাথা শয়তানের বাসা, so that's what happened to us.
All five of us have transitioned really well. And if any of you guys are struggling with your mental health after the transition, the huge transition, y'all are free to, messaging us. Like you can message me personally or each one of the members of this podcast. We will listen to you and we will help you. And yeah,
and
that's all.
obviously comment down below.
Okay, about the unboxing thing, I know what the audience have to say. No one asked, bro. I think no one asked.
That was
Lastly, I would like to add, I was a king before the lockdown and I'm a king after it as well. So, fuck you, mental health.
Are we done?
Hey, at least one thing improved after COVID is my beard line. Like, good lord, this looks sick.
Yeah,
Exactly,
we
people-
are keeping
exactly,
at it.
people get
We
sick
are
after seeing
keeping
you.
at it.
Nihal. After your beard grows, then say it.